Okay, full screen. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hopefully, on the right feed. I hope so too. Well, at least one person is here. Thank you, Simon Arnold. Hello, everybody. Let's let everybody get in. I can't tell. Is there more than one feed going on? I don't know what feed this is. My son isn't here. He's working again. What a bum. Every single day going off to work. Hello, Joy. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joodles. Hi, everybody. Hello, Croxton. Hello, Lewis Schaffer. Did everyone else on this, the 17th official Uncooked stream? Arthur Kimball. Hey, Arthur. Somebody new, or at least new for today. Thank you all for coming. Every single one of my shows, it all starts a certain way. I've been told it starts in a panic because I'm afraid that the stream isn't working, or I'm afraid we have no viewers. We already have 24 viewers, so we have. Are you called viewers? Hey, Lucy. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hi, lovely Lewis. Thank you very much, Lucy. That's so sweet. Hello, Joodles. Hello, Joodles too. I thought you were off to see Simon. She's going off at 6:30. She says, Rosalie Muir. Hello, Rosalie. So that's what I've been told. Zach T. Hey, Zach. Have you signed up for the subscription thing? We're up to 812. We're we. I don't know what's we. I shouldn't say it's we, but it is we. It is we. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for you. I don't care about me. I don't care. I don't care. Do you think I care that anybody listens to me? Do you think I care that this thing goes well? Do you think I care? Guess I'm on the TV tonight. Hello, everybody. Hello, Alec. Hello, Kate. Hello, Arthur. Hello, Claire. Girlfriend sized. You subscribe, but I thought you were subscribed before. But thank you very much for subscribing. Everybody subscribe. It'll make my day. Rearranged studio. Is the studio rearranged? I don't know if it's rearranged. Yeah, let's move it this way. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have any children around. I had both my sons are here. They're living here. Hey, Ian. Good to see you. Pete Transport.
There Claire we go.
Warren. Claire C. Hi, Arthur. Let's say hello to each other. Because it's great to see you all. So I'm going to be on at 2300 with Patrick and my new girlfriend there. She's got a husband, though. She's not my new girlfriend, but she's very attractive, Anna Firth. But she's got a boyfriend. I've been told she's got a boyfriend. Okay. YouTube chat is working. If that's what I mean. Yes, the YouTube chat is working. If you draw an angry face on your knee, you could pretend that you're back on Headliners. Yeah. Hi, Zena. I mean, I'm not wearing shorts, so you can just see. Can you see I'm wearing a pair of trousers? I think I look all right. Did you see the picture of me I took? I was on the film set today, getting made up. I'm doing more and more films. Maybe more and more films. Maybe what Donald Trump said about tariffs on films made outside the country are not going to be put in place. Who knows what he's doing, Donald Trump? Volume up a bit, please, Mr. Schaffer. Okay. Thank you very much, Joodles. I really appreciate that. My hair looks great. Yeah, thank you very much. You know why? Because I was at the studio, and the lady put so much stuff in it, so much stuff, and I guess it made it look all right. I feel it's very Soprano-esque. You know, like in The Soprano, that guy, 45 people watching. Hey, Lud. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Arthur. Hello to all you beautiful people out there. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear people calling each other beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. But so today I had my hair done, so my hair looks all right, I guess. Your hair always looks great. Thank you, Claire. It does. Does it look always great? My hair used to be so much. I never had this bit here, this kind of thing here, and whatever. I used to have my hairline was here. I used to have to comb it to the side in order for me to see. Hey, Cam. Cam is a guy. Cam is a guy, but it hasn't stopped me from flirting with him, hitting on Cam Keating. He's a guy, right? Aren't you a guy? I'm not sure now. James Blunt in the building. You're beautiful. Yes. Remember, you know the lyrics to that song, You're Beautiful. You're beautiful. Like he's saying he was on a subway or whatever he said, but nobody in New York would say he was in the I don't know what he said. Anyway, perhaps if British people made films have a big enough quote of Americans in them, the tariff doesn't apply. Well, it's a very there's lots of Americans. I'm working on a film directed by an American, and I'm wearing a tuxedo, I think, which was invented by Americans, possibly. I mean, you had other formal kind of wear. Named after Tuxedo Park, which was a place in New Jersey. Yeah, it's a good point. Anyway, so I get my hair done, and up in I don't even know if I'm allowed to say, but up in Elstree, up in the studio up there, which is really, I think, in Borehamwood. I think. Anybody know that area up there? We need more beautiful people. Yeah, we do. If we're just nicer to people, we become more beautiful, I think. Nice. I'm trying to be so nice. Anyway, so we start the show with a big fear. We've got 48 viewers already. This is going to be a record-setting show. Record-setting show, which is, if you call it a show, what's his name? Somebody said, I'm not going to say who it is, but said that my show wasn't funny. Did you see that? Did you see that? Let me see if I can find it. Did you see that? I'll read what the review of the show was. Because I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know. Can I try to be funny? I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know if I can try to be funny. I don't want to try to be funny. I don't even know. I'm not going to say who wrote this, but a bit worried. Quote unquote, the guy says, a bit worried, no laughs, no comedy, vague references to people's weight, and let's get thin. No laughs here. It's not a good feeling. It's like the Lewis Schaffer psychotherapy session. I'm leaving. I only wanted some laughs, not what I got. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, a real comedian would put this guy down and say something absolutely horrible to him. But you can't get everything what you want. But then again, you think, oh, this guy Lewis Schaffer, he says he's a comedian. Why isn't he being funny? Because it's very hard for me to be funny when I'm sitting here. I mean, my son was here yesterday, and I don't know whether that was funny or not. I can't tell. What does it take to be funny? I don't know. It's very hard. I mean, what I'm trying to do here is just to let it all hang out. I'm trying, not psychotherapy. It isn't psychotherapy, but it is in a way, because I'm just speaking what's on my mind, and hopefully we'll have some kind of communication thing, and you'll be able to tell me what's on your mind. Not that much. I don't want to know what's on your mind. I'm not that interested, honestly. I'm sorry. Is that a horrible thing to say? I'm not that interested in what's on your mind. I mean, a little bit interested. I'm naturally funny. I don't believe that. I don't believe in naturally funny. I mean, case could be made. People said that to me my entire life. But, I mean, it isn't natural. Every bit of funny means you're listening to people. So it's not natural. Like when you see somebody who's beautiful, is that natural? Is it naturally beautiful? No, they put a little lippy on, they smile, they know how to present themselves. We have to work at it. But I appreciate Sheila Reynolds. Hey, Sheila, where are you from? Please tell me, where are you from? Honesty is funny. Yeah, well, that's another thing. I've had a very bad night worrying about. I didn't get much sleep last night because I've been drinking a lot of coffee, and I've been worried about this. I think I've been pretty honest. I've said some not horrible things that like people may not like, right, and I'm thinking, well, maybe Kerry P has subscribed. Thank you very much, Kerry P. Kerry P. Let me just see if I can get more of this. Is that, and then, like, I think to myself, why did I tell, I'm just sitting here talking, and then I think, holy, did I just talk about my ex-wife, or did I just say, the girl made a girl cry? Whatever I said, maybe I said, Lewis, you have a nice face, but it has the extra something that is funny and gave it a mischievous sort of look at times. Pete's Transport. You know who said that to me? I think it's a very English view. Adam. Oh my God, my memory is so horrible. Anyway, not Adam. But the belief is, look at my face. It's funny. Look at my face. I've got a funny face. I've got a funny face. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that people have a funny face. Today, I identify as an oscillating desk fan. That's the one that goes on and off. That's why I love you, your honesty. Thank you, Kerry P. So did Sheila say where she lives? Are you listening to me? I'm talking to you, Sheila Reynolds. Okay, we're communicating with the TV, with the radio, whatever it is. Oh, where are you from? And then we'll ask you, how tall are you and how much do you weigh and are you fat? Okay? Because we need to know about everybody here. Don't we need to know? We want to know who we're talking to. We've got 50 viewers so far. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. This show has gone so much better than I thought, and I think it's going to end because it's really been enjoyable for me. I hope it's enjoyable for you. Anyway, so that's the mood I've been in. I've been thinking I'm being a little bit not too honest. I'm just a bit chatty, and you've got to be careful with your chatty. You know, people are listening to this. Luckily, most of the things is it comedy, what I say? Maybe a bit. Joy Earls is here. Simon Arnold is here. Tommy Cooper could walk on stage and people would start laughing. Yeah, he was really funny. I didn't like Tommy Cooper when I first saw him 25 years ago and I moved to this country. He died on stage because British audiences are very hard. So if you can make audiences in this country laugh, you've done an amazing job. Never change. Thank you, Claire C. Are we getting an answer from Sheila Reynolds? She hasn't told us. They laughed when he died too. Yeah, they thought it was a joke. He's dead on stage. So many British acts have died on stage. I mean, it could be the diabetes, and he was fat. Did you see that live on stage? When did that happen? How could you see that live? I mean, live on TV, Lucy. You're so young. How could you have seen that? Was that like 30 years ago? I mean, it's a horrible thing. Back then, they had live TV where this is live. I could have a heart attack here. You could be sitting here and suddenly I could die. I could die 1984. That was 40 years ago. So how old were you, Lucy? I don't believe you. Tommy Cooper film, The Brick. I never saw that. The Brick. Marnie Harper. I saw it too. Marnie, welcome to the show, Marnie. You were 6. Yeah, you were 6. Do you remember seeing it? Or do you remember being told about it? Or did your mother cover your eyes, basically? And Joe Sanders also saw it. So it must have been dead on a podcast. Has anybody died in a podcast? I just saw one of the podcasts which show all these fat people, and they all died. And we can believe we saw things, Lucy. That doesn't mean we actually saw things. I love the name Marnie. I like the name Marnie as the film. Marnie as the film. I think it's all us 80 kids remember. Yeah, it could be, because it was probably such an amazing event. Amazing event. The plaque, we don't have to talk about. We can go back to talking about him. Marnie, where do you live? Please tell us where you live. Sheila's not answering me. Maybe she's left the thing. But Marnie Harper saw it. Marnie Harper's going to tell us where she lives. Or maybe it's too personal. Here's rule number 2. Please tell us if I ask you a question. But if you don't want to tell me anything. She lives in Yorkshire. Okay, well, Yorkshire is one of the largest counties or shires, whatever you call it, in Britain. So where in Yorkshire, if you be a bit more specific? I mean, I've been up there, and I love it. I love England. I shouldn't be telling you this. I think I'm more interesting. Tippi Hedren and Sean Connery, the film Marnie. Yeah, Marnie, yeah. I've used that film as an example. It could be an example, because she was a klepto, I think, in the movie. And he's a super rich guy, and he catches her in his safe, stealing his money. And he goes, honey, the safe's open. You can steal as much as you want to. What's mine is yours. You can take it all. You're no klepto around me because it's all yours. And do you remember that? Am I right about that? Lewis for the New Bond, yeah. and she was a horrible woman in the movie Tippi Hedren. And I don't remember how the film ended, but I think it was Sherlock. It was not Sherlock Holmes. It was Hitchcock's attempt at a. I mean, not attempt, because he always did like psychodramas, but he basically said to her, you can't steal from me, so don't worry about it because I love you. And that's almost what I'm selling here. I'm selling we have to love each other. Hey, Warren Foster, we have to love each other to the point where we can say, listen, you want to go into my safe and steal it, you can have it all. That's why we're all so afraid of forming relationships with people. Like I was so afraid, and I've been so afraid of losing. Let's say I have another kid. I'm not going to have another kid, but let's say I had another kid. I'd lose the kid. Let's say I'm going to lose my house, the little bit that I have here. Dorset is Guards County. Yeah, it's beautiful in Dorset. Yeah, I've been down there, Dirtle Door, all those places. Lewis for a Bond villain because he's anti-government. Yeah, I'd be the Bond villain. I'd be the Bond villain, and then you'd all say, yeah, he was making a good point. Claire is saying hello to Warren. Okay? So Yorkshire is the best because it's God's country. Well, yeah. Is Dorset God's country? Dorset is really nice down there. And this is the best time of year to get out and about in England. Although wintertime is great too, in the fall and the rain. You go to the Weatherspoons, you go to walk on the beach, and you go get some beers, and it's pretty damn good. Slumber. Lavender works, maybe, against ants. Oh, we're talking about my ants, because I mentioned that my flat has ants. The building has ants. Okay, The Plank, written by Eric Sykes. It's a silent movie. Okay. Do I have to write this down? Can you do me a favor? If you tell me something, tell me again. The Plank. I'm writing it down on a piece of paper, but then The Plank by Eric Sykes. He was huge in this country, and then he disappeared. I never hear his name mentioned. Do you hear his name mentioned? What is your favorite? Lewis. Mine is The Rope. Perfect film. That's an old one. I don't even remember that one. Alfred Hitchcock's film, The Rope. But you did the right thing, because remember I said yesterday, if you're going to ask a question of me, you have to be prepared for the answer for yourself. Right? So it's The Rope. Psycho. I'd have to say Psycho is my favorite film of his, basically. I mean, I haven't seen as many, I've seen Psycho in an audience with people watching it at uni. It's based on the Leopold and Loeb case, The Rope. Oh, okay. There was another film based on Leopold and Loeb by Otto Preminger. What was that called? Do you remember that film? Love you, Lewis. Cornwall is the best place you will experience. Honestly, Cornwall is amazing. Cornwall is amazing. I mean, fantastic places. I mean, listen, I love Nunhead. So if I love Nunhead, I'm going to love Cornwall. Eastbourne, I'm going to love Eastbourne. I'm going to love Yorkshire. I'm going to love these places. I feel like I'm living in a Groundhog Day right now. Well, every one of these shows is the same, basically. Would you say? Would you say they're the same? I mean, what happened to me today? I went and got dressed up in a tuxedo to go to a gala in another film. This is what they call me for the gala. Although I was a cop the other day, but they call me. Wasn't it Bradford Dillman in that? Can't remember the name. Yeah, it was in that film. It wasn't a very good film, but they were two Jews who killed this other Jewish kid in Chicago. They were like super rich kids, but Chris Granite, The Lady Vanishes. Yeah, I mean, I'm showing how little I remember of these films. Chris, where are you from? Where are you from, Chris? And how tall are you? So I'm in a better mood talking to you because we got 51 people already. That's fantastic. It's fantastic. And I also did not sleep at all because I've been drinking lots of coffee. I've had my 4th or 5th cup of tea today, and I had 1 cup of coffee because I went and had a half a cup of coffee or tea for breakfast, and then I went and had a cup of coffee at McDonald's, which was not good. Not good. I don't know why I expected it to be like normal coffee. It's not good. It was not good. See you tomorrow. See ya. Okay. I love Bradford Dillman. I think are you talking to Lucy there? Laura. That's another great film, Anatomy of Murder. They were really great films. And they were made in America in the 1930s. And then he moved, they were made in Britain. And then he moved to, what about the one where he's with what's his name? And where they're chasing across America with, what's the guy's name? Oh my God, I'm so bad. You ever tried coffee with coconut milk? No, because I save coffee for heavy double cream. McDonald's serves crap coffee. Yeah, North by Northwest. Thank you, Lucy. Lucy's like my fact checker here. You're great, Lucy. Cary Grant. People say that I look like Cary Grant. Oh, I'm pushing it. Yeah, Jay Evans also knows this, and same with Joy Earl. You know it. You people know it. Try decaf. Yeah. I guess I should, because, I drink the coffee because I need it to wake up, but I don't need the fourth cup to wake up. I drink it, I put like 50 grams of double cream, which has hundreds and hundreds of calories. Thank you. This is the highlight of my day. I have to go to work. Yeah. I'm glad it is the highlight. We all need, there's certain programs that I watch because they're not too stressful. And I hope I don't stress you out, because a lot of people think that they maybe take what I say seriously, and you should take what I say seriously. But that doesn't mean my life is miserable just because I say that it's miserable, just because I'm having a miserable day. Arthur Kimball, thank you, Arthur. Where did you say you come from, Arthur? And I hope I make somebody's life happy, basically. I'm not sure that I do. I hope I do. I want to make people's lives. Not that I can't make your lives happy, but sometimes, like, I try to listen to programs that are not, like, I couldn't watch Headliners if I wasn't on it late at night. I just would get wired. So what did I have to watch at night? I can't watch political programs at night. The Ealing comedies were great. The Lady Killers, Lavender Hill Mob, Passport to Pimlico. When I was about 10 or 11 or 12 years old, they took me on a class trip to see the Lavender Hill Mob at the Playhouse or the Squires movie theater. We had 2 movie theaters in Great Neck because it was fantastic. And they took it to the special showing of the Lavender Hill Mob, and it just struck me as fantastic. I was young and I just loved it. I also saw a film there. Part of this, I guess, maybe one of the teachers set up this film thing in the town that I was in, for the students, 10-year-olds, of the film about the animals that lived in the Serengeti. So I was maybe 1967. You bring joy to us all. Thank you. That is so nice, Joy. MC Mike, medical cannabis. Do we believe in medical? Glad to see you on YouTube. Do we believe in medical cannabis? Maybe when we're older. I believe maybe when you're older you should be able to take drugs and drink, but not when you're young. Though, you don't really, you forget to take it when you're older. You're our sunshine, Lewis, brightening the day. You don't have to say this to me, but I do appreciate it to me. You're that way to me. But the Ealing comedies, you, Jarrett, fantastic. So that's why my mood started off really bad. I woke up at 80.3 kilograms, which is not great. It's not great, 80.3 kilograms. Because I was 79. It's only 400 grams more than yesterday, but I ate a lot of carbs. And then today, so I was like tired, and I had breakfast at McDonald's, which is carbs. Carbs. Jay Evans weighs 13 stone. Yeah, that's what I weigh 12.5 stone. Or 12, I don't know, 12.6, something like that. Hey, Lola. 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 That's the Kinks. Kinks, one of the best British bands. And we didn't let them into the country. And they don't even know why we didn't let them into the country. And there were some bands that shouldn't, they were unhappy, I think. I sit down with my tea and watch you each night, Lewis. You are so funny. I'm looking you in the eye, Kerry P. You are lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Schaffer says, Lola. L-O-L-A, Lola. Anyway, so So because I gained because yesterday I had carbs, and then today I went and had a double sausage egg McMuffin at McDonald's, which are unbelievably good, really good. And I ate the bread too, so I ate a bun. And then I went out and I bought 4 peaches. And laughing burns calories. Yeah, probably not as much. Nothing really burns calories. They say, oh, exercise, it doesn't burn calories. It could burn calories, Ian Higgs. It could. Am I pronouncing your name right, Higgs? I had a friend called, his name was Haig. They're so salty, Lewis. Yes, they are. And salt makes you fat. And then I had 4 plums, 4 peaches, which I ate. I was going to only eat 2, and then I ate 4 because I can't control myself. And then on the way home, in Peckham, there's a place called Bagel Bliss. Have you heard of this thing? I love a muffin. Yeah, muffins are incredible. They are incredible. Can you sing better than Frank Sinatra, Jedster? You know the answer to that question. Of course I can't. Of course I can't. Anyway, we keep trying to run trials on medical cannabis, but the regulators are really twitchy because of its reputation. Well, why is it not legal here, but it's legal in America, right? Anyway, so I stopped and I got a bagel, a poppy seed bagel, and it was like a New York bagel. It was a big bagel, soft bagel, slightly warmed up bagel, cream cheese with lox, with a little bit of cucumber. But it was a bagel, and then I've had 5 cups of tea, each with a teaspoon of sugar. So I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. And so tomorrow, if I don't stop, if I continue to eat for the rest of the night, which I probably will, because I'm going off to the GB News to be on the show at 11, I'm going to be fat, and you're not going to love me. I'm drinking. Here's a cup of iced tea. Iced tea. English people don't drink iced tea. Happy birthday, Alan. Is it Alan's birthday? What does it say? Happy birthday, Alan. Poshitarians. Who's a Poshitarians? It's Alan's birthday. Well, it's the anniversary of the day you were born. Everyone, whenever somebody has a birthday, remember, they weren't born that day. If they're 50 years old, it's 50 anniversaries. 50 years. That's the anniversary. I will still love you, Lewis. How lovely is that? How lovely is that? You're gonna have to fight off Joodles. I'm sorry, but I'll have you fighting each other off. I like being told that. I love you, Lucy, and I love you too, Joodles, for laughing at me. And I love you, Lola. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I understand I rarely do this, but I had a packet of knickknacks, a twirl, and 4 chocolate chip cookies. I feel like shit now. Yeah, it's really bad. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I don't take drugs. That's why I don't recommend drugs, because you take the drugs, and then you feel hard. Not that I take drugs. I do not take drugs, but you feel, see, I'm lying to you. I don't take drugs, but you feel horrible the next day. Am I right? 56 now. You feel horrible, so you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. I mean, I had one girlfriend who was who liked drugs. And she liked me because I wasn't. Sugar is a drug. Exactly. Yes, it is. It affects every single cell in the body. Sugar. Sherbet lemons. Yeah, that's sugar. Yeah. Sugar is a drug, Armitage. Thank you for being here. And so what is a knick-knack? And what is a twirl? I know what chocolate chip cookies are. And you feel like shit. Well, you know what you do. You know what I do when I do this? Like I had the bagel. And I just said, you know what? I'm not going to eat for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna eat only about 1,900 calories. And then so tomorrow I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Knobby crisps. Knobbly crisps. I don't know. These are like obscure things. Have you tried Revels? No. I mean, I used to feed them to my kids. All those horrible little candies. And now I regret it. I regret giving them. Who knows how it affected them in a negative way. But I also forced my kids to have broccoli. Right? Do you do that? And spinach. and spinach, because I was trying to be a really great parent. I didn't force them to. What I used to do, and I've gotten a lot of flack from this, you're full of bovine scatology. I don't know if that's the right way. Eschatology. Scatology is like the study of scat, the study of cow poo. Reese's are horrible. Yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible. They're corn snacks. Yeah, so I could do a with if I was wearing. That's funny. That's funny, Slumbert. Okay. Knob. I don't think our British candy is as good as American candy. I don't know. I don't eat as much as I used to. I almost bought I was at the train station. I almost bought a Milky Way. Not a Milky Way, the other one. What's the other bar that's similar to a Milky Way in America? Anyway, I almost bought it. Nobbies. They may be. And I didn't because it was £1.50. But if it was £1, I would have put a pound in. Why are you having spoonfuls of sugar in your fluids? Thank you, John, for asking that question. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Spinach is high in oxalates. Exactly right. And they cause diabetes. They make you have pain. And it takes a while for it to get out of your system. Hershey's are awful. Grist, granite, yes, Hershey's are awful. British chocolate is delightful. European chocolate is the best. I'm quite partial to Butterfinger myself. I've never bought them myself. I'm not a big fan. 70% plain chocolate is delicious, according to Warren Foster. Anyway, so candy is really important, and I'm not a big fan of British candy. But as I'm older, I think it's better than American candy. Though, American candy is like famous American, M&Ms. How great is that stuff? Did they, according to Mr. Croxton Schaffer, did they not do a scampi and lemon pack of knickknacks? I seem to remember them, but orange pack, then purple. Who are you talking to? Gris, do me a favor. Tell me who you are, where you're from. And Jay Loins, is it Loins? John Loins. That could be a joke. You don't know with English people. And Leslie is here. Hey, Leslie, how are you? Prefer savory to sweet foods. Yeah, but you know what? They're both salt. Anything savory is telling the body you're dehydrated, which makes you store water, which makes you fat and bloated. I believe that. I think I read that. I think the person who told me that in a YouTube video was Dr. Richard Johnson from the University of Colorado. Right? Do you know that guy? You should check that guy out. He's like amazing. He had dark hair and he looked horrible. But that was me. He likes peanut brittle like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is eating the thing because he just wants to seem like he's a regular person, a normal person. He reminds me of that character in The Godfather. What's the Jewish mafia leader who's living in the tiny house with his wife who doesn't know? Karamak. They've ruined Karamak. What's the guy's name? Mr. Roth, Hyman Roth, where he's like living in this tiny little house, but he's like a mastermind businessman. No, Arthur. No, what does Arthur say? Lucy, is your partiality to the Butterfinger a euphemism? No, Butterfingers. I wash my hands. Okay, so there we go. Hold on a second. What is that? So my breakfast is toast, no butter, Marmite, avocado, and tomatoes. You'll never go back. Yeah, because it's salty, and it's, avocado is like worthless food, and tomatoes are a bit toxic. That's why the Italians cut the skin off of this. Basically, don't they cut the? I wash my hands. Is that funny? Is it that funny? Anyway, is that the Italians, before they make tomato sauce, they put the tomatoes in boiling water for a few seconds, whatever, and the skin comes off. And then they drain the nuts, because you should not the nuts, the seeds. Am I right about this? Oh, yes. Marmite and cheese together is good. Yeah, it's good. Yes, Lewis, it is. I don't know why that's funny. By me saying I wash my hands? Vanished. What happened to vanished? I wash my hands. I want you ladies to know this. I don't want to wash the rest of me. I mean, I do take, I guess, warm showers, but I don't use, and I use the soap on my hands. I'm not going to say where else, but whatever. I don't use the soap. Don't use soap. No salt. I don't use salt. What's the question, Leslie? Who are you asking? Himalayan or Celtic salt? I think we don't eat that much salt. So even if it was a fancy salt and had all the different stuff in it, okay, I don't think we need to have a fancy salt. Basically, what do you say, Leslie? What salt do you like? Anyway, so my mood was not good this morning because I want to stay below 79. I want to get to 75 kilograms. But I have no stick-to-itiveness. I've got very, very low stick-to-itive. I remember when K-Peanuts were attached to a board with a picture of a scantily clad lady on it, when the packet matched up to a particular part of the picture. Even guys with ant allergies, you mean A-N-T allergies, bought them, like even me, possibly. Yeah. Nut allergies, not ant allergies, nut allergies. Nut. He didn't mean ant. I thought ant allergies. Yeah, gotta be nice to your aunt. I love my aunt, but yeah, nut allergies. So where were we up to? So, let's just. I've been told by my son I need to make these more coherent sections or something. So what are we saying? We should do a poll. I wish I had Columbus here to do a poll, and maybe Lucy. Could you do a poll, Lucy? I really want a Terry's pyramid. Manna. What is manna? Is that like mama, but manna? But here's the point, Lucy. That's why we need to lose weight. We need to tell ourselves this is good for us in our weight loss quest. Let's enter the weight loss part of the show. These foods are all delicious, but they're not good for us, and they just make us hungrier. Okay? They just make our it's manna from heaven. Andrew Graham says, yeah. Ant allergies, yeah. You could be allergic to your ant. What does Carnegie think about yesterday? He was very well liked by all of you. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, he liked it. He likes being on the TV, and I think he likes it. He's really great. I mean, he's really great. How do you combat the munchies? You combat the munchies by knowing that, first of all, you combat the munchies by eating the right food, number one, okay? You combat the munchies by writing down everything that you eat so you know you've eaten enough food. Lucy, you are weird. It could be, yeah. You could be a bit weird. Well, all women are a bit weird. You're horrible. Lucy's horrible. So you write down how much food you've eaten so you know how much you've eaten. And you know how many calories a candy has. And you also set a limit. You say, I'm going to eat this, but I'm only going to have one of these. And then you throw the rest in the rubbish. Okay? I want to enter the part of the show where established science is destroyed. Well, this is kind of this, yeah. It's kind of, yeah, I like that too. I don't believe in any of this science. You tell me you're a scientist. Schlumbert is always bragging that he's from Denmark. Here in Denmark, people love Denmark. They love the Danish. You didn't tell us where you come from, Gris. Keep yourself occupied to get through the mealtime. After a while, you won't feel hungry. Yes, but you shouldn't try to. Most hunger does. There's two kinds of hunger. There's bored hunger, where we're just so used to eating. You see food, you're just eating, and then there's the hunger. You're from Aberdeen. Oh yeah, my kid's mother is from Fife. She's from Fife. Anyway, then there's the hunger that comes because if you eat sugary food, and I mean starch, that kind of thing, your cells get hungry. It's not bull. Nobody eats just one chip. You have more and more chips, right? So if you realize, if I have one chip and it's got salt on it and it's got starch in it, I'm going to have a second chip. I'm going to just go mental. It's like an alcoholic. Who knows? If I have one drink, one day at a time. Am I right? You can't have two drinks. You can't have just one drink. You can, but it's really hard to say no. Like I had 4 peaches today because I had 4. I bought a bag of 4. So I didn't buy 10 plums because I would have had 10 plums. But I said to myself, you have to fight it off. I get so sick of being hungry. I hate it. I only eat when I'm hungry. But I don't want to take the fat jabs. No, just write down how much food you're eating and realize that sugar and starch and salt and umami, anything that has spicy flavors, make us hungry. So you've got to basically, Claire C., you've got the tiny little body. So, yeah, I'm hardly ever hungry. You're bragging. You're like Slumbert saying, I'm from Denmark. Braggart, Slumbert. Would you prefer to live in space on a spaceship with everything you wanted or under the sea with everything you wanted? Would I prefer to live in space in a spaceship? They both sound dreadful. Living in space sounds dreadful. You lose muscle, because you're not holding anything. And you, Jarrett, rarely gets hungry. I can forget to eat, and then I get woozy due to low sugar. That's also bragging. Bragging. Peaches are keto friendly. No, they are not. Peaches don't have a lot of sugar in it, but they have sugar in it, says Ludd. You're going to have to defend that. What does keto friendly mean? You can eat a few of them, but if I'm going to have 5 teaspoons of sugar today, along with a big bagel and a big bun, okay, and then, live under the sea is the stuff of nightmares. Yeah, at least you're up in space. You can look down on things. But either way, you're going for a stat. Okay. Anyway, do Danes like the Danish cookies we get in tins here? Do they like that? But isn't that like Scottish cookies? Aren't Danish cookies? Aren't they like butter cookies? I've asked Elon Musk for a one-way ticket to Mars. Yeah, Mars, that's the other kind of thing. Under the sea is the stuff of nightmares. I read it on Google, a keto website. Yeah, because it's not a high starch thing. But I think you've got to stay away from all plants. That's what I think. Anyway, so where were we? What were we talking about? So we were talking about, so my mood is better already. I want to thank you people for lightening my mood. The Romans had the best diet in history times. Well, some Romans did. A lot of Romans didn't. The gladiators had a high-carb diet because if they were going to be hacked to death, they wanted a layer of fat around them. Yes, butter and bacon are the semi-gods here. Thank you, Slumbert. Oh, yeah, in Denmark, yeah. Well, they invent that stuff. They were very, very healthy. And I was hearing about how the Vikings went to sleep. They were very good with sleeping. They had they slept in 2 parts. Nothing wrong with carbs. Yeah, maybe you're right, but my belief system, I might be wrong. What's good about them then? Except they taste good and make you fat. Oh my God, Kate, that's what Judel said. She's like shocked. She's saying this. Okay? I can easily overeat potato products. If it's in front of me, I can't help but eat. That's what deny? That's exactly what I'm saying. What deny? Yeah. Oh, Olive in London. What does that mean? I might go for high carb for a hacking defense. Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's dangerous. You might get cut by while you're in the pit with the gladiators. Yeah. It might help fat people, but you don't want to be too fat. What's the wrong room? And now he's laughing because we're talking about being hacked. Did you ever watch Seaside Hotel? Terrific series. You're asking Slumbert. No, I don't. I've never seen that. Now I might look for that now. What is that? What is that? If you're going to speak only to one person, you got to be prepared. Roman soldiers had to carry many kilos and walked very long. Yeah, yeah. That's why I feel like today I had. Let me check how many steps I walked. How many steps I walk? I'm trying to walk about 15,000 steps. I would say today I've walked about 11, 12, 13,000 steps already. But I went all the way up to Elstree, Boreham Wood, and went to the studio there, the Elstree Studios. Seaside Hotel refers to a Danish historical drama series known as Badehotellet, Bath Hotel in Denmark. It was set in a luxury seaside hotel during the 1920s and 30s. That sounds interesting. Denmark is a very interesting place. And I had a sort of a summit. This girl I met there. They were good times. I was young. I had a beautiful body back then. Had a lot of hair, dark hair. I wasn't great looking. I had a big nose, but I looked all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the ladies now who this is all you have. You just have the old Lewis Schaffer. The old Lewis Schaffer. What did Steve say that was funny? The more you weigh, the harder you are to kidnap. Stay safe, eat cake. That's true. Nobody wants you if you're big and fat. Nobody wants you, but also nobody wants you if you get kidnapped. They won't come and look for you, like with Madeleine McCann, because she was young. They always look for the young person. It was found on Channel 4. I just did a little research on Channel 4. It's owned by the state. It's owned by the state. They don't get any money from the government, but it's owned by the state. What is the state doing owning Channel 4? They shouldn't own it. Anyway, Denmark welcomed Jews, and they love bacon. Yeah, it's the both sides of it. Well, Jews love bacon, too. I love bacon. It's not good for you. I don't think it's not as good as beef. Yeah, the Danes are good. Danes are good. Danes are good. Danes are good. And now what are they doing? They're banning the face masks, and they're banning whatever it is. My favorite actor is Mads Mikkelsen. I'm trying to learn Danish too. Yeah. How can you say bad things about the Danes? Next door to my house is having a barbecue party, and they can just hear the stream because I'm watching you outside on my iPad loud. Well, hello, neighborhood people. Where are you, Premium again? Where is Premium again? Loads of great stuff on Channel 4. More for Water presents selection of international TV programs. Why should the state be owning anything? I don't believe in state ownership. Danish bacon. I bought some bacon yesterday. I had 4 strips of bacon. Yeah, really good stuff. I'm back. What did you miss? What did he miss? I don't know what we've been talking about. The Danes. The Danes. The Danes. I live near where Nick Dixon lived. Okay. Oh, up there in Cumbria. Yeah. Yeah. Eat cake, Mr. Croxton. So you won't. Sorry. I meant Walter presents. Who's Walter? There is nothing you can name. What? What is the question? What was the question anyway? On More For. Let there not be state. If there was no state TV, would the country be that different right now? Squid Game is tomorrow. Yay. Okay, yeah. No. So, because I was watching Stuart Lee, who I'm a big fan of, and he's basically gone woke, totally woke. He was always woke. I was, I guess, woke back in the day. Maybe that's why he was my friend. But he's still nice. He was still nice to me, even though there's nothing. What's nothing in the world? Hans Christian Andersen. Love the Little Mermaid. Yeah, great with Hans Christian Andersen. Is a Black Forest gâteau a cake? I think it is considered a cake. I think that's from Germany, though. Black Forest is in Germany. Anyway, Lee's a tit. You know what? I think he's a great comic, but I think he was saying he didn't want to go to America because America's descending into fascism. I mean, is that his business? Is our business that first of all, America isn't descending into fascism. You got to know what fascism is. Remember, the Nazis were the left. The left have killed more people than fascism. has killed. And anyway, the Nazis, he's a misogynist. You're very quick to call people that. Why is he misogynist? Why? He's not a misogynist, Stuart Lee. Walter Iazino is the man behind Walter Presents, the digital foreign language drama platform that has been a runaway success on Channel 4. Okay, do I have to write that down, or will you remind me again? Walter Presents, Channel 4. I used to enjoy Stuart Lee, went to all his old shows. Hard to stomach him now. I don't, you know what, maybe, I don't know. I like him. I only have TV to watch a film once in a blue moon. You only have TV. Can we do this? I wrote down punctuation. Can we put a little punctuation? I only have a TV on. Okay? To watch a film. You only have TV on to watch a film once in a blue moon. The rest of the time, you don't put the TV on. Yeah, maybe that's true. I don't watch anything in BBC. I pay for Netflix, but I never use it because of his trans views. What are his trans views? What are his trans views, Lucy? I respect Lucy's opinion. Why can't you make fun of women without being called a misogynist? Because why can't we make fun of women? Because they're sensitive, I guess. I remember you introducing him on stage as Bridget Christie's husband. I thought that was funny. That's a Lewis Schaffer original joke. Yeah, big round of applause. I was thanking him. He wasn't introduced. He introduced me, and then I said, big round of applause for Bridget Christie's husband. And now they're divorced. So any man who's divorced, you got to feel for them because it's horrible. Making fun is different to being derogatory. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, because women are afraid of men. Maybe you can't make fun of them. Men you can make fun of. He thinks TERFs are fascists. Is that being misogynistic, Lucy? Because he thinks they're fascists. A lot of people do. I don't think that they're fascists. I definitely don't think that, what's her name is a fascist. Do you think she's a fascist? Sam, making fun of women is a sign of respect. It shows they're worthy of attention. That is true, Sam, but for men, it works for men. You can't, women want to be loved. They want to be loved. If you insult them a little bit, it could be considered a negging, but it has to be from a really hot guy, and she has to feel that you love them. So you should not. It's not to do with that. He's pro women losing their spaces. He's not. What is saying? He's pro women, Stuart Lee, but he's too far down the rabbit hole now. Too far. So you're saying Stuart Lee. He's against TERFs. So he's not in favor of women. I mean, men who hate women secretly hate their mothers. Men need to forgive their mothers to get over the anger cam. That's very interesting. I don't hate women. I'm afraid of women. I'm mad at my mother. I'm still mad at my mother. That's why I did that show that I did. I was really, really angry at my mother. I don't think she really loved me like she said she did. And maybe that's why. What are you saying, Joodles? Yes to what? I want to love women, but where do I find one? While watching Lewis. You could find one here. Joodles, Kinsey, these are beautiful women. Lola, Lucy, okay? They haven't been destroyed by Lewis Schaffer. There's lots of women. Mr. Croxton, how old are you? You're 55 years old, right? Is that how old you are? Yeah. You could find them here. Who wants to speak to Mr. Croxton? Hey, Leanne. Leanne's back. Hey, all. Just made it. We'll rewatch later. Okay, we'll see you later. Lucy, women are inherently funny. All that 30 pairs of shoes and 40 handbags. What's that about? Yeah. Well, remember I made a joke about that, about the handbags. You're 46. Well, that's perfect for Lucy, right? I shouldn't be, foisting Lucy on you. She's lovely. Yes, Stuart Lee is against women having our own stuff without what? Without tarping men being involved. LARPing men. I also adore clotted cream. Where did that come from? I'm taken. She's taken. I've taken her. She's given herself over to me. But that's, who knows? She'll see the real Lewis Schaffer. I have lots of shoes. Yeah, women love shoes. We can make fun of how many shoes they have, but it has to be done in a very loving way. It's like if you perform in front of an audience that feels that if you black people or Jews or whatever, you can make fun of them, but they have to know that you really care about them and you're not in danger. I am on GB News tonight. Yes, Mark Throsian is here. Thank you very much, Mark. Okay, so there we go. You don't, John. Nobody has to say I'm going, but thank you for coming. LARP, live action role play. Oh, I see. So explain that to me again. Let me go back and read that again. In my experience, women like a little bit of pull that gives them a compliment, but also a cheeky insult. That's exactly true. With men, you can just insult them. They don't care. Well, no, you are right. You're right. Croxton is complimenting the half Armenian. Is anyone here a hermit? Well, we're all hermits. If you reach an age, you don't go out as much as we used to go out. Let's all go out, spread the love, and go out. Let's all meet each other and hook up and say, you know what, I met my girlfriend here on this page. People come up to me all the time and says I was at that free show I did, or people would go to my show on a date. They didn't want to spend any money because they just met the girl. And then they found that the girl didn't care that they didn't spend any money. And Katie Hopkins is a very funny woman. She's funnier than I thought she was. I mean, not that I thought she was. I mean, I was asked to be on a show with Katie Hopkins, but I wouldn't do it because she wasn't a professional comedian, and I don't want to be known as being political, but I guess I can't help it. Katie Hopkins is great. She is really, really great. Really great. And as I say, it's not easy for a woman to be funny, especially to men, because we're not listening. Any excuse to visit London, I love it. Yeah, come down and visit me in London. I can't believe Lewis has been invited back on Patrick's show after the last time. Yeah, that was pretty wild. That was really wild. But, maybe they want... I'm surprised I'm not done more because every single show I've been on, people are listening because we're not listening. Exactly. Judas, why aren't women funny? It's not that you're not funny. We're not listening, number one. And we don't care because we're only interested in ourselves. What do men do that makes them funny? They basically grab the audience in the face and says, hey, I'm Lewis Schaffer. Please laugh at me. I have lots of books in ceramics. Yeah, you have books and ceramics because women are collectors. I mean, all people are collectors. I'm a collector. I got so much garbage here. I'd like to just throw it out. I don't want to throw it out. I'd like to sell it, but it's such an effort to sell it. I'd like all the papers that I have, I'd like to take photographs of it. You're nodding. Yeah. Women can be very funny. I'm loving Samantha Day at the moment. I don't think I've ever seen her or him. Are you going to do a show in the North, Lewis? Yeah, someday we'll do the show. We'll come to you. We'll stay at your house, and you can come in the middle of the night and bother me. Does Patrick let fun happen now? He used to be not that anymore. Lewis, don't let him and Jimmy News hold your tongue. They don't hold my tongue. But there's some things you can't say. It's like you're asking, can we insult women? Can we make fun of women? And you can. It just has to be done a certain way. And sometimes when you're on TV, there are people who just tune in and they don't know what your sense of humor is. They don't. And Patrick wants to be a serious person. He wants to be serious. He doesn't want to be a comedian. That's why it's not headliners, but it is good anyway. Do they actually get cat care off your clothes? How do you actually get cat care off your clothes? You don't get a cat. I know I said I had a cat. I don't have a cat. That's a bit of a lie. That's a bit of a lie. Women can be funny, but we don't do well as stand-ups. I mean, not so well. You do stand or on panel shows. Yeah, because you don't have the testosterone. And that's what it is. You need someone who's going to shout out. Shout out. You need someone to shout out. Yeah, basically. Get rid of the cat. Yeah, I love cats, though, but they get you a cat here. You were so good on Comedy Unleashed. Thank you, Lola. Yeah, women. Yeah, you should mention, Katie, Tommy Robinson and Alec Belfield tonight on GB News. It'll send them mental. Well, I have mentioned Tommy Robinson. I know Claire is a huge Tommy Robinson fan. Basically. Aren't you? Yeah, Tommy Robinson is great. But so Stuart Lee was saying how bad America is, how it's fascistic. And, maybe it is fascistic, but maybe you need a fascist. What is fascism? Fascism is a mixture of nationalism and big companies. I don't think no, you know who is fascistic are the Democrats. They're constantly pushing their big state bullshit. Am I right? Come to your hometown, Lewis. Yeah, up in Warsaw. Yeah, that's the home of the leather industry. I should come up there, considering it's been on Facebook. John Fleming wrote articles about me, and then he stopped. He stopped. He basically discovered I was a jerk. I was a jerk. No, don't get rid of the cat. No, do not get rid of the cat. I love cats. I love cats. I love dogs. What are you laughing at, JDM? Where are you from again, JDM? Mae West was one of the first. Yes. Was she a comedian? Yes. Yes, she was brilliant. And she was Jewish, too. Did you know she was Jewish? No, no one knows that. America is like a teenager as a country still. It's only 250 years old. Oh, that's only a couple of generations. Well, you know what my feeling is about that premium, is that every person comes from another country where, even though they've been only in the country for 250 years, they carry, you're from Fro. What is Fro? Fro. What is Fro, JDM? Is they carry the history of their country. Look at me. I've only lived in America 150 years, 140 years. Yes, that's true. The school is old in America, but we all harbor something from the country we come from. We're all Jews, or we all come from English people, and we remember how we were treated. You're from New York City originally, but living in London for 20 plus years. Notting Hill. Well, where am I from? Where are you? I'm from New York. I was born in Great Neck and born in Brooklyn and raised in Great Neck. Lived in Manhattan for 20 years, and then moved to Brooklyn for 2 years. So I'm a New York type. Where are you from in New York City? I'm really interested in this. Beloved cat Smudge died a month ago. He was such a sweetie. Yeah, it's very sad. Did you kill it, or did he just die? I don't mean to say it that way. So sorry to hear that, Joy. We're all sorry. Sorry. It's really sad. Do the Warsaw Arena. Sounds bigger than it is. Arthur Kimball. I love this show. I might find a female partner. Joe, for example. Yeah. Joe, how about Arthur? How much do you weigh? How tall are you? That's all we want to know. No, I did not laugh out loud, which means you didn't kill your cat. You didn't put the cat to death. Okay, thank Leslie. But it's really sad. You lose your cat. You were born in Brooklyn, raised in Deer Park, Long Island. You lived in Chelsea. That's like the Christian version of Lewis Schaffer. You're probably Christian because you lived in Deer Park. I don't think Deer Park is a Jewish part of Long Island, I don't think. And Brooklyn Heights before moving to Brighton. How long have you lived here? I've been here for 25 years on July 27th at 9 o'clock at night. That's how long I've lived. Not that I'm counting. But if you want to hear something surprisingly interesting, try Roseanne Barr on the Trigonometry podcast. Number one, I love Roseanne Barr. Number two, I love the Trigonometry podcast. Number three, I love Francis Foster. And number four, I love Konstantin Kisin. So there you go. Let's all listen to that. Not right now, but listen to that later. You could get Lucy on screen as your duo, FaceTime, and put her in put an iPad next to you. Put her on an iPad. Or FaceTime. Are you saying or FaceTime? I get the feeling Lucy would not want to do this, and maybe she would. Maybe she would. Hi, I'm a Catholic, but we had plenty of Jews in Deer Park. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the Jews who couldn't live in Great Neck. You feel sorry for those Jews who had to move out to Long Island. Yeah, Lucy, I want parrots, but they live so long and pull their feathers out when you die. Yeah, do they love us, parrots, basically. You've been here since 2002. It's similar to me, 23 years. Still go back to the States often. I don't go that often. Every time I go back, it seems more bloody expensive. That's so true. Do you remember how cheap the food was in the diners? Remember the breakfast? $2.95 for a full breakfast. $4.95 with like 4 pieces of bacon. You know, you really so cheap. And then when I went back 2 years ago, it's like breakfast for me and my 2 sons, 52 pounds. It was so much. Okay. It seems very expensive. Lucy wants parrots. Well, do you want a parrot? Yeah, that's nice. You're shy. Yeah, she's shy. She doesn't want to go on the TV. Are you shy, Lucy? Anyway. Lucy, get a parrot to learn Lewis Schaffer quotes. Squawk. It's a non-story, squawk. I think she's trying to get Lewis Schaffer out of her mind. Warsaw is a nice-sized venue, probably around 500 people. Is it called the Arena there? Is it called the Arena, the Warsaw? How big is Warsaw? About 30,000 people? Maybe. Yeah. So it's the Warsaw Arena, basically. Basically it is. I just noticed you have the Lucy as your pick. Yeah, that's what I thought she looked like. Yeah, she likes Lucy Van Pelt from whatchamacallit, from Peanuts, Charlie Brown. My mother went to the same mental hospital that the guy who designed Peanuts. You're super fat. Yeah, teach him you're super fat. My mother was there because everyone was trained. Oh, you're mentally ill. That's great. And she was also on a high-carb diet. Lucy, yeah, it would terrify me to be live on stream. It's bad enough just talking to randoms playing online games. My son plays that. Yeah, it is. I mean, I should be more nervous about this. If I were nervous, I'd be funnier. Joodles, gender refers to the diverse and psychological aspects of being a man, woman, or other gender identity. What does that mean? My dad was an African gray parrot. Horrible, bloody thing. Went batshit crazy whenever I entered the room. Okay, I just noticed you have the... I don't know, what is... Did I miss that, gender? Did I miss that, author? What is that? The truth is that what does gender mean? It's like, let's pretend to be a girl. Let's act like other girls act. That doesn't mean, gender changes. That's why there can be 100. Every gender can be different. Am I right? But sex is genetic, could be, or a penis. Charles Schultz was from La Jolla, beautiful town. I've been to La Jolla. Yeah, it was an amazing place. Yeah, La Jolla, the beach up in San Diego. That's a fantastic celebrity link. What, that my mother went to the same mental hospital, the Institute of Living in outside Hartford, in West Hartford, Connecticut. Gender is a social construct to determine how people behave. Sex is binary. I agree with that. Does that make you a horrible person for thinking that, Kate? I don't think it does. I think it's just, you're dressing up as a woman. What does a woman dress up at? It's like I want to fight like a girl. I want to bite and kick and scream and then stop you from seeing your children. That was one of my jokes I used to tell. The parrots that are coving in London were originally released by Jimi Hendrix. Is that true? Is that true? I don't know if that's true. I didn't like Jimi Hendrix. I do now. I have just explained the meaning of the word gender. You know what? Yes, you did, and you did. Did you? Where did you explain it? Yeah, no, I think Kate explained it actually better. So, yeah, no, you both explained it very well. Kate, I think, did also a good job because her way is shorter. Yeah. Gender is another word for personality. Yes, that is true, Joodles. Another word for personality. Like somebody looks is a woman and they wear dresses, so you put on a dress, they think you think your gender is like a woman. I agree with that. Premium, we got a couple of them here in Belfast in the local park. Yeah, we have a lot of parrots here in London. The green parrots. I don't know where they come up from. They're not around right now. I don't know. I haven't seen them recently. J.K. Rowling gets so much heat on X, but she stands firm. Big up to her. Yeah, big up to her, even though she was horrible about divorce and about men being divorced, I think. Lately, 300,000 people live in Warsaw. Last 100,000, is that true? 300,000? I don't believe that. Who's going to Google that? Who's going to Google how many people live in the Warsaw metropolitan area? I don't believe it's 300,000. That makes it one of the largest places in Britain. Leanne's, I'm a dog girl. Yeah. Does that make you not a girl if you like dogs? Stephen Fry. What about Stephen Fry? I missed something about Stephen Fry. I've got to be there. Hendrick released them when they were fledglings, when they were little wings, when they had little wings. Is that a joke about the band? Okay. I'm a man. I like parrots. It's a massive town. Okay. Can you give me permission, people, to actually check on Google how many people are in hold on a second. Let's see if I can get this thing. Window capture. Where is this? Where's window capture? Window capture device. You know what? Let's just skip that a second. I'm not going to... All right. I'm going to look on my own. Okay, I'm going to go up here. Wall. Warsaw population. Okay. 2025. Oh my God. You're right. Population is estimated to be about 284,000. Oh my God, incredibly high dense. It includes Bloxwith, Brown Hills, Darlaston, Warsaw, Willow. I haven't heard of any of these places. That's quite amazing. 300,000. So do I need to give you my apology for not believing you? What is the question? Hold on a second. That's amazing. Yeah, 200. Thank you, Leanne, for checking that out. Who's surprised at 300,000? Oh, we're talking about Fry. Fry's always been a gobshite. Yeah, he's also Jewish. Interesting. Okay. We would travel anywhere for a good laugh with Lewis Schaffer. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Tucker Carlson also asked if you even know the population of Iran. That's because he asked, what's his name, who should know the population of Iran. Yeah, the population's going up in some places amazingly. 284,000 is a lot. I thought the population was like 30,000 in the area. You heard of Brown Hills, surely. Yeah, well, I know that. 92 million people in Iran. 90 million. That's a lot of people in Iran. We shouldn't. It's a lot of people. But Stephen Fry is he said bad things about, it's like you can't, yeah, I mean, you got to be nice to people. Bradford has 500,000 people. That's a lot of people. Yeah, maybe some of these people, I don't realize how many people live in these places. That's a lot of dams in Iran. What does that mean? A lot of dams. What does JDM stand for? JDM? Yeah, there's a lot. These are a lot of people. Does this show have enough content? The University of Brown Hills no longer has alcohol. Yeah, horrible. I like the old Britain. I like the old Britain. Okay. Would you ever come to Bradford? It's the city of culture. I think I have performed in Bradford before. If you Google Lewis Schaffer Bradford, I've performed there. I did my show, Lewis Schaffer Free and So Famous, there. Lewis Schaffer is a once plus the N. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what it means. Let's just. Okay, JDM stands for my name. I don't want to say it. Okay, don't say it. We don't have to say it. We can live in secrecy here. I was in Birmingham city center recently. I don't feel at home. I mean, places do change. We should welcome people, but we shouldn't try to make the place change. And I think that's what the left is doing. They're not happy with you. It's horrible to live in a country where they think, we'll bring in people. They're not happy. They don't want your children. They don't want what's best for you. They don't want what's best for you. Okay? Turkish barber in every corner. Thousands of halal butchers. Yeah. This country is a country of silos. It shouldn't be a country of silos. It should be a country of people living together. So I mean, people laughed at Warren. Fry, not you. What did you say that was funny? Yeah, but I mean, maybe you can't use the word. Yeah, I didn't think it was about me. See you on GB News, Kay. Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you all on GB News. The point is, I mean, remember, I'm not from this country. So I'm just looking at it. I'm saying, what is best? I'm against. First of all, the reason I think this is I'm against change. I'm against change. There's only 5.5 million in Scotland, and it's almost the same size as England. It's not a big country, Scotland. I'm against change. I like culture. When I've traveled around the world, when you travel, you don't want to see KFC. You don't want to see Starbucks. You want to see the country as we know it to be. People are conservative by nature, yeah. No. But I do want to change my weight. That's true. Yes, that is true. I want to change my weight. I will watch GBN only because you're on it. I stopped watching it when it went more to the left, sacked all the right-wing commentators, and when Headliners was ruined last year. Yeah, you stopped watching. Yeah. KFC is big in Japan. For Christmas dinners, yes, I've seen that. That's very, very true. Yeah, you want the country to. You come to Britain, and it could have had slight changes, but you like the basics of the country. And if you don't like it, you can get the hell out of England. Of England, if you don't like it. I like old England. Okay, you have been here long enough to class yourself as a British, or at least have strong opinion. I would say that I'm not British. I would say that I'm an Anglophile. I'm an Anglophile. I mean, I probably have changed. I've changed. You could tell a British person. You could change. It's sad. It's like what happened in South Africa. Whether they were right or wrong, whether they were good or bad, you wake up one day and your country's not the country that you had. Where your town has changed. You are an American. I am a certain type of American. I didn't consider myself American when I was growing up until the World Trade Center was blown up. And that's when I felt American. And I wasn't even living there. England in the 1990s was the greatest time to be here in the whole history of the country. I came in 2000, and it seemed like people were on the move. Lewis, did you get a British passport? I did. But after Brexit, it lost a lot of the usefulness. Well, can I speak to you about this? Can you send me a message? Because I'm thinking about getting one. I mean, I'd hate to leave the country and then want to come back, and I can't come back. I like old England. I really miss, because a friend of mine bought a house, and he can only stay in the country for 120 days. And if he does, and he told me if he stays in the country one day longer than 120 days, not even half the year, he for the next 2 years he can only stay for 45 days in a house that he bought in this country. Old school Cockney people are the salt of the earth. Yeah, maybe. My girlfriend is kind of like that. She's my ex-girlfriend. I mean, yeah. There's certain types of British people that I like more than anybody, and others I don't like. I like Cockney people. I like people who don't have a royalist attitude. You can send me a DM. Yeah, send me a DM. YouTube, I think. I'll try. Yeah, send me something. I don't know. Maybe I should give my number here. You can find me on Lewis Schaffer PM at gmail.com. He needs to go to France and get on a wee boat. Yeah, but it's a drag. It's a drag. And, let's say he wants to spend... I don't know what the story is. It's weird. That's weird. I don't like them doing that. Lewis, you can't. Lewis Schaffer PR at gmail.com. That's what it is. He needs to go to France and get on a wee boat. Yeah, that's what Judel says. I don't know. What about Scousers? I like Scousers too. I've been all over the country. There's not one group of people as a place I don't like. It's the attitude. It's when they think I'm not going to say that I like you people, but you people are all right. I'm driving back home from Burnley. I performed in Burnley too. How many people live in Burnley, Lewis? If 500,000 live in Blackburn, there could be 500 in the metropolitan area of Burnley. I'm going to guess. I'll just be back in time for the Patrick Christie Late Show. Yeah. I like Burnley. I like those places. I don't like that you can't buy alcohol. Lewis, Bradford metropolitan area has millions. Does it really? Because it's part of the whatchamacallit, the Manchester United metropolitan. What's Premium's question? I didn't see that. You think Brits or Americans are more funny? Okay. On the whole, as people, pick one. I think Americans are funnier because there's more Jews living in America, and they're more professional, and they're not embarrassed about being funny. Are British people funnier? They try very hard to be funny. There's a different kind of sense of humor in America. I mean, yeah, I think Americans are funnier. Nothing personal. Is that bad? Now I'm saying bad things about you guys. I think British people funny. If you're English, you will find English people funnier. But who are the best comedians around the world? Americans. Nothing personal. Right? Oh, right. Leeds, Bradford. Sorry. That's right. But I was talking about Burnley. Burnley is not part of Manchester. I would say who? Good question. Thank you, Lucy, for pointing that out. I appreciate being asked to answer the question. Is that who are the funniest comedians around the world? They're Americans. But who's the funny British comedians in America? I mean, they're great. I think that they're great, but they're not really loved by Americans that much. Richard Pryor is great. Black people are really funny. Richard Pryor. Jewish comedians are the funniest, but British dark humor is especially funny in a different way. That's the point I would like to make. That they are funnier in a different way. Not many British comedians do well in America. Yeah, that's the point. They don't do well, Warren. They don't do. Okay. Ricky Gervais. I didn't think he was that funny, and I do now. Dudley Moore. I didn't think he was great back then, but I do now. I miss Sean Locke. When you understand British people, you don't think that you think that British people are funnier, because when a British person goes into a comedy club, they think, I'm going to be funnier than the comedian. That's what they're thinking. I'm going to make the comedian laugh. No American goes to a comedy club to heckle. I've said this before, to heckle the comedian. They're going there to hear a professional comedian. They have respect. Cook and Dudley Moore, outstanding. Yeah, they do. So you get heckled by a British person. You've got to deal with it. Jackie Mason and Joan Rivers were fantastic. Yes, they were. Hey, Mick, welcome into the thing. Lee Mack is the quickest witted. I would have to say he is. He is brilliant, Lee Mack. I said the other day, who's my favorite comedian? I'd have to say Lee Mack. I would have to say. Who do you miss? Who do you miss, Lucy? I missed what you said. Who do you miss? Dudley Moore? Yeah, it's sad that he died. Comedians die. They die. Some die early, and some die. Hi, Mick, Lucy says. Russell Brand is funny. Yes. He's not that funny now, considering he's been horribly accused. Maybe he deserved to be horribly accused, but it's hard to be funny when someone accused. Do you watch the 1% Club, Lewis? If so, how do you do on it? What is the 1% Club? Now I got to write that down. What is the 1%? Lucy's gonna probably upset that I said that. 1% Club. What is the 1% Club? What is the 1% Club? Lucy said no with an exclamation point, so it's probably about something where I was defending what's his name? Bill Burr, Lucy Darling, Shane Gillis. Yeah, these are people who became funny after I left the country. Maybe I could have been as big as these guys. I don't think so. I don't think I could have been as big. I've just basically wasted my life. If I become funny right now, it's because of you people giving me a place to talk for this time. They are the 1%. What does it say? The Americans? Ricky Gervais is the funniest Brit, maybe. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be. Right now? I mean, on TV, yeah. The funniest person ever? And maybe Ricky Gervais? I'll have to think about it. I don't know. No comparison to the dull diatribe nowadays. I am the proud owner of 2 Cook and Moore albums, including Derek and Clive Live and Derek and Clive Come Again. Yeah, well, I did work for his wife, Cook. What his name? I like old school Jack D. I work with Jack D. and did a gig with him, and I was so bad that my wife divorced me afterwards. Horrible. So I don't have much love for him because of that. Not that it's his fault. The Curious Bunny is here. 1% is epic. I miss one or two in the middle, but get the rest. 50-50 is on the 1%. What does that mean? Is it a show, 1%? Let's talk about favorite German or Japanese comedian. You made me laugh before I saw the Just Kidding. Let's talk. Okay, very funny, Cam Keating. How about Bob Munghouse? I couldn't watch him. He had like a growth on his face. Peter Cook, right? Thank you, Arthur. Yeah. He was the whatchamacallit of his day, the Jimmy Carr of his day. He had his joke books. Very professional. I've just got home from walking my dogs. Have I missed much? We're talking about our British comics funnier than American comics. Oh my God, I was obsessed with Jack when I was a teenager. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he was a kind of American-style comedian. But he was very similar to other comedians. Just he wasn't doing that well. I read his book, which was pretty interesting. He went through some, he was working as a cook. It was fantastic. And you could say Lewis Schaffer. That's Peter Kay. Was funny at the time. It was a certain kind of comedy. Chubby Brown, he's basically been taken out of the venues and things. Laureate from Germany. Laureate, I don't know him. I don't know who that is. The universe is fickle. Yes, it is fickle. 1 minute you're funny and you're not funny. Or maybe I'll become famous now. Maybe it'll be like, have you heard of Lewis Schaffer? Vocost. Who are you, Vocost? Have you come on this chat before? Somebody new. Everybody welcome Vocost. Okay. George Wallace is funny with the black comedian. Yeah, he was funny back in the day. Henning Venn is really funny, and he's a German. Yes, he is. I shouldn't have said I don't know any Germans. I work with Henning Venn. I know Henning Venn. I like him personally, Henning Venn. So I saw him at Up the Creek years back when Malcolm was introducing him. Yeah, Henning Venn was great. Don Rickles is maybe my favorite comedian. Eddie Murphy's James Brown stand-up routine is pants-wetting funny. Yeah, he was great. But he was kind of the later years. He wanted to become really good-looking. He wanted to become a rock star. And that's, you can't, that's like me. I want to be too good-looking. You can't be too good-looking. Frankie Boyle was amazing. Yes, he was. But he's also become team leftist, and he stopped being nice to people. Hey, Vocost, where are you from? How tall are you? Okay. I felt like the chase. I got the most of them, but no, 1%. Is that the question? Is that the question? But George Wallace, yes, I agree. Is Vocost, maybe he doesn't want to say where he's from. Maybe I shouldn't ask that question until people feel comfortable. What do you think? David Jason, he's not a stand-up comedian. Is he a stand-up comedian? I'm from North Yorkshire, and I'm 6'3", laugh out loud. Okay, how much do you weigh? If you weigh more than 100 kilograms, you're super fat. You're very fat. Reeves and Mortimer, Shooting Stars, was good at the beginning. 80 kilograms, yes. This is do you have a wife? Do you have a wife at 6'3"? I don't care if you're ugly or not. Can't wait for GB News tonight now. Yeah. Okay. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'll mention the show. I loved Jackie Mason a lot. I loved him a lot. I liked him a lot. Single and loving it. That's not the right answer in this show. This show is like a love dating show. Dating show. Don't say you're single and you're loving it. Say, I'm gonna find a girl for you. Lucy, you're too tall for Lucy. Who's a tall girl here who has trouble finding a man? Who's 6 foot? A 6 foot tall girl who has trouble finding a man. You should go out with Vocost. Jackie Mason wasn't good in Caddyshack. That acting is something very different than being a stand-up comedian. Did you know Jackie's daughter in New York? No, I didn't know Jackie's daughter. Mike Bichetti did. I didn't know. No, I never didn't know her daughter in New York. Mike Bichetti, good on Mike. Mike is funny too. Harry Hill, great guy. Honestly, Honestly, a great guy. Honestly, a great guy. And really, really funny. And he was trained as a doctor and said, I got to stop doing this. I'm not happy doing it because, being a doctor is a horrible career. Monty Python. It's not stand-up comedy, Monty Python, but it's really funny. It's really funny. Single and loving it too. I'm short ass. Sorry. Yeah. How tall are you, Leanne? Harry Hill he wasn't a trained doctor. Laugh out. Yes, he was a trained doctor. Yeah, he was a doctor. You think Leo Kurz and Nick Dixon is more funny? I like both. I think they're both really funny, and I would pay to see either one. And I've asked both of them to be on my comedy shows. Okay? Comedy shows before they became right-wing fanatics like me. Did you like Richard Pryor? Unbelievably, I love Richard Pryor. You're 5'3", Leanne. Yeah, who's 5'7" that could go out with Leanne? Who's 5'5"? Who's 5'3"? Let's set Leanne up with somebody. How old are you, Leanne? Gotta go see you tomorrow, Andrew. Okay, see you tomorrow. Rudy Carroll from Holland, but mostly on German TV show. Rudy started diplomatic incident between Iran and Germany, women's underwear on Khomeini in a clip. Yeah. Yeah, well, at least he didn't make fun of the other guy who we're not allowed to. You're 6'2", salt and pepper hair. I've got to keep track of this. Harry Hill, according to Kerry P., is the funniest. I would have to say he's one of the funniest. Leanne's 43. That's a really good age, Leanne. Do you have any kids? If you have no kids, it's even better. I'm 61. I'm 6'1", Cam Keating. And I'm fat, but also got muscle. I did lose weight on Lewis's diet of meat and eggs. Yeah, well, there you go. That should be, that we should have, I should collect all the things that people say about this. Why is the right wing so funny? Being right wing is like being left wing 40 years ago. Why is being right wing so funny? Because you're saying something that bothers people. And that's what comedy is. Comedy is saying an alternate reality that makes sense, that bothers people. I like Benny Hill, the other geezer, Ken Dodd. Yes, Lewis Schaffer could be Ken Dodd. He was working till late at night, till he was in his 80s. A round of applause for Ken Dodd. He's an example of how funny British people can be. Yeah. So when you ask me, are Americans funnier than British people? Context. That's what we have to know. Lud, you cannot argue with Bernard Manning comedy timing. Yeah, but he said I was going to die skinned, to me personally. He didn't think, he said I was going to die skinned because I didn't think it was funny, but I think he's funny now. I think, you live in the country long enough, they all become funny. You don't think they're funny at the time. I didn't think that Bernard Manning was funny, but I do. Yep, Leanne, it's a matter, it makes all the difference. What did Leanne say? I have half, and half as joy. I would start stating that. You have half of what? What does that mean? You have half of. Do you like Stuart Francis? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's his name. I don't know where he's living now. I did a gigs out and drove out to, and we had a great time. I do like him. I do like him. I like that he was scripted. He had so many jokes, and they were very well written jokes. Very well written jokes. I like Johnny Carson. Not as much. He was a very straight guy. I wasn't straight. Pete's Transport thinks that Harry Hill is very funny. Yeah, I think he's very funny. The more Jim Davidson. My friend Joel Sanders loved him, and says he's absolutely hysterical. So if he thinks he's absolutely hysterical, and he worked in America, Joel Sanders, then I have to think it is. People don't realize that Bernard Manning was Jewish. Was he really? I don't know. The missus reminds me about the time I sent her to see Ken Dodd 4 hours on stage. Yeah, 4 hours. Well, that's what Lewis Schaffer would stay on stage for 4 hours if I could. I don't care if everyone's left. I just want to talk to people. You really like him. Who do you like? Who do you say you really like? Genuinely nice bloke. Freddie Starr. I'm not. It's before my time. Freddie Starr. Freddie Starr. I'm not sure that he was. Rich Hall is funny. Yes, very funny and scripted and good. And scripted is good. And he's a proper American. Rich Hall. And he moved to this country and he learned about this country. Jasper Carrot. I'm not that familiar with him, but he's one of those. He's out there in Cornwall or something. Freddie Starr was a proper legend. Yeah. Arthur Kimball is funny. Yeah. Lots of people are funny. Was Bernard Manning Jewish? Lucy asks. I don't know if he might be. He might be Jewish. Could you look it up and see what they say about him? A lot of people could have a little bit of Jewish, but they're not really that Jewish. Rich Hall was Matt Groening's inspiration for Mo Zizlak on The Simpsons. I could see it. He was a somebody, Rich Hall. I was in Australia with him. Not with him, but he came in and visited. And, he was... oh, my God, Jasper. Nobody mentions... I'm not going to say who nobody mentions. Oh, my God, Jasper Carrot. Yes. Yeah, him and Jack D were my favorites. Jasper Carrot, the joke about the dog and the Hoover, laugh out loud. Simon Pegg was good. I just seen the movie Simon Pegg's, which I liked. I didn't like them when they came out, but I like them now. Tommy Cooper. I love that guy. Bernard Manning wasn't Jewish, but he had a sign that said Shalom on his front door of his house. Why? Because he was afraid someone was going to set fire to him or something? Or back then. He died a few years ago, Mr. Croxton. Good storyteller. Similar story to Billy Connolly. Bernard Manning was a Catholic. That's what I thought. But if you love, it's like this country. If you love Britain, you're British. If you love America, you're American. If you love the Jews, you can be almost Jewish. Bernard Manning's jokes were still funny, with or without the bad language, proper gags. Yeah. Sean Sprock. Any thoughts on Alexei Sale? I don't know him well enough to make a comment. Rich Hall, Mo is true. It's true. Joy Earl says hello to Voikos. Are you available for Vogue? Lee Evans. I was not a Lee Evans fan, but I tell you something. I met him and he was very hardworking, but he was all right. I probably would like him now. Shame. Jethro is gone, lad. But yes, a great storyteller. It's sad. You don't want to die. That's why I'm constantly focusing on the diet. We've got to stop eating the carbs. I've got to stop eating the carbs. I'm eating too many carbs. My blood calcium level has gone up. It was at 0, and now it's at 100. So carbs actually cause heart disease. It causes Alzheimer's. It causes early death. Wilson, Keppel, and Betty. Who are they? Let's see. JDM loved him in Shaun of the Dead. Yeah. What's his name? Simon Pegg. Was he a comedian, a stand-up? I don't know. What makes someone Jewish? Is it Israeli descent? No. Well, no, because, no, maybe. No, what makes someone Jewish? Someone makes someone Jewish is, you ask them this question, do you think they're trying to kill you? If you think that they are, then you're probably Jewish. That's what makes you Jewish. Do people think you're a Jew? And you say yes. That's what makes you Jewish. I mean, it's not great to be Jewish, but it is what it is. Bread is very bad stuff, Pete. Yes, it is. Very bad stuff. Joy Earls, say hello to Vokhorst. I loved Norman Wisdom as a kid. When he was so funny, Lee Evans ripped him off a bit. Well, yeah, and I guess he did. You know where he was a huge star. What's his name? When Norman Wilson was a huge star in Albania. That's the only British stuff they let him watch in Albania. He became a huge star. Okay. Watch the film Uncut Gems. And that has been a Jewish film. It was so good. All right, now I got to write it down. You people are so good, but I'm not checking. Uncut Gems film about Jews. All right. What does here we got to get to what does Ferrero Rocher, the candy, and David Beckham have in common? They both come in a posh box. I laughed. I didn't even know that. I laughed. Jerry Lewis was big in France. Yeah, we used to make a joke about that. That he got he was big. Meanwhile, people had lost the love for him in America. Leanne, yes, Shaun of the Dead. You're 5'4.5". Anything half, saying half is very important. Well, if he's 6 foot, did you say you're 6'3"? Vocost. Go out with somebody shorter, Leanne. I'm sorry, you can find somebody. Unless you're really ugly, but don't take the short girls, because guys who are 5 feet. My father was only 5'5", and he married a 5'4". That's what it was like. And she wasn't bad looking, my mother. When she was young, she got a bit, whatever. Color of Money, is that Kubrick's film, or what was Kubrick's film? Joan Rivers is funny. Who became a Muslim in the visit to Iran? Who became a Muslim? Letterman asked Jerry Lewis what he was in France, and he said a prison. What was? Let me ask again. Letterman asked Jerry Lewis what he was building in France. He said I'm so I can't be a comic. I can't read. Letterman asked Jerry Lewis what he was building in France. Instead of saying a castle or a house, he said a prison. I say half an inch is important, but not in height. That's all. That's very funny. And you live in the Isle of Man. I always wanted to go out there. Is that a nice place to be? Jerry Lewis was a nasty piece of work. Yes. Yeah, and I don't want to say it. He's dead, I don't know. You get the feeling that's true. You get the feeling. But then, am I a nasty piece of work? I'm trying hard to be nice. Norman Wisdom lived on the Isle of Man. Yeah, it's a good place to live. Hold on a second. I'm being called on the phone by my friend Angela. Hey, Angela, I can't talk to you now. Hello. Can I call you in about 15 minutes, 10 minutes? Oh, okay. Bye. That's my friend Angela. Lovely girl. I mean, just really not. She's from Wales. I shouldn't mention anybody's name. Color Me. Kubrick is on about the bloke who went around masquerading as Stanley Kubrick. Conning people. That's a funny idea. I love those kind of movies. It's like the movie where the guy said the guy was made a film, Werner Herzog film, Eat My Shoe, where the guy was a filmmaker. He says, I got a great idea for a film, and he was so bored of hearing it that Werner Herzog, the great German filmmaker, says, if you make this film, I will eat my shoe. And when he made the shoe, and it's one of the best documentaries ever made. Sorry, Lucy. Don't worry. And so he made this great film about called Animal Cemeteries, and the guy Werner Herzog made a film about it. Does anybody know that film? Hot Millions with Peter Ustinov and Maggie Smith. I've seen that film multiple times. That is a great film. It was made in New York with what's his name? George Siegel, who grew up in my hometown. Bill Hicks, not a big favorite. But that was a great film. I was in Tehran during the Iran-Iraq War. That was a horrible time, probably. They were killing each other. But who answer me the question, who went to Iran and became a Muslim in 1992? I'm sitting in Ladbroke Square Garden listening to this on my headphones and laughing out loud like a fool, like a cool. Love this stuff. Well, there you go. If you like this, maybe I'm getting funnier in this country. Maybe this is funnier. Murder by Death with Peter Sellers, David Niven's, Peter Falk, Maggie Smith. I never. Is that a takeoff on 12 Angry Men or whatever it is, Death on the Nile or whatever it is. What is the difference between a scruffy guy and a bicycle? You don't. And this is the thing about British people. They're more likely to tell you jokes. Let me tell you jokes. Let me tell you jokes. What's the difference between a scruffy guy on a bicycle and a smartly dressed guy on a unicycle? Can you hear it now? Okay. Someone who is the happiest when talking to themselves. That's me. That's me. Well, welcome to the show. Where are you from? Who did I? Derek. Where are you from, Derek? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but good to hear. And how fat are you? And how tall are you? We've lost the sound. Can you hear the sound? I must have pressed the wrong button. Can you hear it now? We can't hear you. Yes, 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 yes. Derek, where are you from? Few. How long? How long was I quiet? Because you don't watch a live screen of Lewis for just to look. You've got to hear the voice. You can hear me now. Um, so this has been a pretty good show. Has it been a good show? It's been a good show, I think. What time are we doing it tomorrow? I might be working tomorrow. If I'm working tomorrow, we have to make it 7 o'clock, because I get called to work. I sit in the shop. I sit in the shop, and that's where I saw the famous blonde football player playing for Manchester City. What's his name? The Danish guy. He walked in. I didn't. He had not performed. He had not been a football player yet in this country. I didn't know who he was. About 3 minutes, and I said, "Are you a football player?" Because he was. I didn't, and it made him uncomfortable. That's why you got to be very careful. And I also met in there. What's his name? Mandelson. He came in, and so did what's his name for Oasis? The guy who wrote all the songs. Noel. Make it 7 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, maybe we'll make it. I'll tell you about 12. What time we're doing? Whether we're going to do it at 5. I can't wait to join in tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, join in. It makes me happy when you join in. It makes me really happy. Welcome to your show, Derek. Where are you from, and how fat are you? Yeah, is that what you're saying? I should say that. You put in quotation marks. Derek, welcome to the show. It's really a great thing to hear. Meet all the people. Everybody, let's give Derek a big round of applause. I should do that. Yeah, it's really amazing. Nice little community building here. Yeah, we got a good community. I mean, it's a Twitter community, but They're all good. Not one person is under 40 years old in our group. The Beatles and Mark Bolan wrote all of the Oasis songs. You know what? They might have written all the songs, but it's very hard to write a song that sounds like another song that is amazing. That is amazing. Good fun vibes. Yeah, I love. You're Scottish and you're effing huge. Okay, how tall are you? And I'll tell you how much you need to weight. You need to lose weight. What are the right? We're gonna leave on this thing because we've got a couple of minutes. You did say that. What did I say? He's fat. Yeah, you're huge. I did say that. Because he had a kind of and most people are fat in the country. Mendelssohn, yeah. I like his fingers. No, that's very. I get the joke. Moses Mendelssohn, who was a Jewish musician, whatever it is. The hospital loads tomorrow, so later would be good for you, good for me. What is the hospital? That's a different show. Lewis Schaffer and the geriatrics. Yeah, I used to have very young fans, and a couple of them liked me, and I got into big trouble for it. Luckily, I like the older ones too. You could name check. Okay. I'm going to be on GB News tonight at 11. You could do that. What you could do, you can go over to my feed and subscribe. Vocost, you could subscribe. That'd be nice. Or whoever else is. Didn't Oasis also steal from Burt Bacharach? I'm not sure about that. But I also like Burt Bacharach a lot. I think he's not even dead, Burt Bacharach. Derek, you could go and you could subscribe. I don't know. My thing says I've got 70 anyway. So the way we lose weight, the way you're going to lose weight is this: is number one, you're going to get one of those apps. Did Burt Bacharach died? Oh, Burt is dead. Oh, that's so sad. I've cried listening to Burt Bacharach. Wow, that's sad. I'm not going to cry. We're not going to cry. We don't have time. I have 813. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for subscribing. But let's see what I'm saying. I'm saying this. I'm saying you have to write down in an app how much you've eaten. You've got to control your carbs, and the way you control your carbs is you just first start out, I'm not going to have any white carbs or have half as many white carbs. Or you're either going to have carbs but no alcohol, or alcohol but no carbs. That's really sad, Lucy. And then the third thing you need to do is you need to cut your calories. I guess I forgot what I say to lose weight. But you write down everything that you're eating. You low carbs, and you don't eat the carbs. Basically, Burt Bacharach and John Barry were great composers. Yeah, you named two. John Barry did all the whatchamacallits, all of the James Bond one, which I'm going to be starring in. I didn't want to release that information, but no one's going to believe that I'm going to be the new James Bond coming up in 2027. Actually, 2028. We're going to be filming it next year. Okay, I lied. Grapefruit juice or Southern Comfort. What are we drinking? Oh, you're asking gin and grapefruit. You're asking what you shouldn't drink. Probably, well, Southern Comfort is not real. It's like 24% alcohol. Good luck tomorrow, Pete. What is Pete doing? All my liver readings are elevated and off. Yeah, you got to stop the alcohol, stop the carbs. Carbs raise your liver thing. Go low carbs. Okay, Mad Dog 2020. Can you buy that in this country? Mad Dog MD 2020. Whiskey and brandy. Yeah, brandy is great. Any is good. Whiskey is good. I have driven buses a bit. Pete's Transport, that's why it's called that. So that's the alcohol. That's the weight. We're all going to lose weight. We're all going to get below 25 BMI, even if it's not a legitimate measure. Are we going to do that? We're not going to do that. We're all going to fight for Britain. I want to say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to basically sign off on me, and you could talk for a couple minutes to say goodbye to everybody. We can do a football special. I love football. Football is the best team sport, basically. Yeah, best team sport. Okay? Are you saying goodbye? Bye there, lovely Lewis. Thank you, Leanne. And maybe the boys can meet the girls. If you're 5'3" and a girl, don't go out with a 6'3" guy, even if it's amazingly great. I know you want to do it. And if you're a 6'3" guy, don't go out with a 5'3" girl, even though it's amazingly great. Go out with a mildly short guy. See it tonight on GB News. Okay? See it tonight. Oh, you know what you can do? You know, there's that you say thing. If you go Google GB News, you say, and you sign up and you write down, "I love Lewis," but don't be overbearing. Don't say bad things about headlines. Just say, you don't have to say you love me, but it's nice. Thank you, Kerry. It's really nice you joined us here. Thank you, Simon. Thank you for being a long-standing listener. Yes, your say on GB News. Your say. Or go on Twitter. Are you on Twitter? Lewis Schaffer on Twitter. There's X, Twitter X. Go do that. Good luck, Lewis. And bye-bye, everybody. Let's pray that it's a good show tonight. It's going to be a great show. Okay, I'll see you later. I'm waving goodbye. Wave back to me. Wave back. I'm looking at you guys. Wave back. Wave back. I'm going to put the full screen window capture. Live stream. What is it? What do we have? Hold on a second. Don't move. Stream start.